No wonder nobody watches this show. That's that one. which is
Yeah.
not far from the truth.
It would hurt if it wasn't true, wouldn't it?
Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey Pod with Mike and Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Mike.
Portsmouth are out of the FA Cup. First home, third round against Wycombe. 2-0 defeat. You can take the defeat down, but the nature of the defeat was not acceptable, was it? What were your thoughts on that game?
What are my thoughts, Mike? You didn't see it, did you? Or you saw bits of it?
I've since watched the majority of it back, but I had to keep fast forwarding. It's dross. It was just dross, more dross.
The first 10 minutes was all right, and I thought, oh, we're going to be okay here. We look like we're up for it, and things weren't going great, but we were doing all right. We were getting forward. We had the possession. Well, we had the possession for most of the game, but and then we gave away that weak goal, and then they got the second one shortly after that, and then that was it. It was just back to boring away Pompey performance, and the players that came in were just really disappointing. I thought, I mean, to name a few, Moxon I thought was awful, and he has been this season. He's not been great. I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether it's the step up. Well, you say the step up, but he's playing Wycombe, so I don't know. He just looks really nervous for some reason. Just seems like he's trying a bit too hard. So he was poor. Kamara was poor. Atkinson, the new Pompey legend, was poor.
The new legend.
So
class.
Yeah,
that
was
quite against Wycombe, was he?
Yeah, no, I think that was the worrying thing. I know we said last week that we don't want to go over the top about his sort of 25-minute performance against Sunderland, so we won't go the other way and say the same about 45 minutes at Wycombe. But he wasn't great. So, but nobody was. Nobody was great. They didn't seem to want to pass the ball to Matt Ritchie for some reason. He had acres of space out on the right wing in the first half, screaming for the ball. Never seemed to get it much. So yeah,
it's a strange one, Ritchie, isn't it? Because I thought he'd come back into the side against Sunderland, and he didn't. Obviously, he was captain against Wycombe. Fair enough, it's understandable. So it would suggest there's not a massive issue. And he's probably the only real candidate really for captain. I thought based on the side that was there. But I don't know. He seems to be getting a kind of not a lot of grief, but kind of a lot of people going, he's clearly come to us when he's way past it. And yeah, he's not at his prime, but I think his work rate, his work ethic, quality's not quite there, is it? But anyway, it's a strange one. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the ones that really disappointed me are the ones that people have been calling for in the team.
Yeah.
Mostly Kamara. Mostly people have been saying, Kamara's not getting the minutes, and that's the reason why he's not getting the minutes, because Mourinho sees what he does and sees what he's doing in training, and sees that he's clearly not ready. And then you see a game like that, and you think, well, that's exactly why. I just thought he was laboured, wasn't he? Really laboured in most things he did.
Yeah. I just think a lot
well
of
off it.
Just look very nervy. I don't know. They just don't seem to have much confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought him and Moxon were particularly bad.
I thought out of anyone that played, I thought Sadie was probably the best of a bad bunch, but it was a bad bunch, wasn't it? But even then, Sadie's not a striker. We've been saying this all along. I mean, he's not a striker. He's a number 10, really.
Yeah.
But as soon as you saw Sorensen, then you know that Sadie's going to be playing up top because you want to rest Bishop. I actually thought they might bring Bishop on at one stage, and I was thinking, please don't. It doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't matter.
No.
And then Clout came on, and I thought, thank goodness for that, because you don't want. The last thing you want is Bishop coming on in a game like that and getting injured, and then we're stuffed. But yeah, I think the fact that he played Potts and Dazelle for half a game, which was clearly arranged, showed how much confidence he had in his midfield.
Yeah. And I thought, sorry, you reminded me, I thought Potts was one of our better players as well. Not that he was great, but I thought he stood out, the fact that he was the only one that could sort of put his foot on the ball, could win a challenge.
Yeah. Not this is the thing. It's not disappointing with the loss because ultimately the only goal this season is to stay in the championship, as we said
Yeah,
before the game. But it's the manner, isn't it? It's the fact that it showed exactly how little depth we've got in this squad and how important this January window is to the rest of our season. I was talking to a guy in the gym the following day, the Saturday morning, because he had the Pompey's up once. So I was saying, how did you fight the game last night? Oh, I should have played a stronger side, shouldn't he? It gives us a chance to get some morale up and start kicking on in the league. So, mate, we've got another 7 games left in January. It's like Lang and Murphy and Bishop can't play every game, can they? So
no,
you've got to
no.
rest them.
No, I think it would be nice if we had that strength in depth. It would be nice to sort of play just a few of the players on the brink, on the edge of the squad, get them in, and then play a stronger team. But we don't have it, and I just don't think we could afford to play a strong team
No,
in the FA Cup.
no,
So
no.
I think he made
And
the right decision.
Yeah, I agree. What he's come out
People
and
were
said
very
afterwards.
unhappy with him, though. Oh,
Yeah, weren't
sorry.
they? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, go on. Yeah, go on.
Well, just about that. Sort of Mousinho came out and had a go at the players and said they were poor, and then a lot of people were saying, "Well, yeah, it was the team you picked, though." Well, yeah, but I would have thought, that team were there to impress me, to stake a claim to say I should
Show
be
that you're
in
worth
your
it.
starting 11. Yeah, and they didn't. So
No one did. And I thought ultimately you can't say too much bad about Williams. He was obviously poor, but he's playing in left back position. But even Terry Devlin looked a little bit. And one of the things with Devlin,
yeah,
I thought, which was quite telling, is that he was a lot more. He looked a lot more frustrated in that game. Normally he just gets on and kind of works his socks off, doesn't he? And although he's still doing that to a degree, we're lacking a little bit of quality. But I noticed a lot of the time when Wycombe had attacks that kind of broke down, he'd be turning around and that kind of distraught. I'd say it's kind of the Manchester United player look, where they're just looking at other players as if saying, "Oh,
yeah,
come on, you're better than that, you're better." And it's like,
yeah.
it's the recent Man United phase where they
And he
just
was
have
getting
a
a bit
go at
aggy
everyone.
as well, wasn't he? Getting
Yes, yeah,
involved
that's what I
with a
mean.
lot of stuff
Yeah,
with Wycombe players.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like when he does it though,
Mm.
because he's not a big fella. I imagine he's a bit of a nutcase,
Yeah, yeah. You're
little Irish
stereotyping, aren't you?
hothead.
Yeah, yeah,
Stereotype. I
yeah,
am. Okay, so we talked about the lack of depth for squad. I think we will see. I think one of the things that shows is that clearly the likes of Moxon, probably Kamara as well. Moxon maybe longer term maybe doesn't have a long term future in the championship because I think he's 26, so he's not going to improve that much to get back into the side. Kamara clearly is one for the future, so I think he'll benefit from going out on loan money to
yeah.
probably a League One side, hopefully a top half League One side.
Hmm.
There's talk today actually about Sadie, a lot of League One interest in Sadie. I personally
Yeah.
would like to see him stay in the squad, but not as a striker, as a number 10. Because I think isn't he 22? He's got room to grow, isn't he? But maybe if we can get somebody else in that he goes out on loan I don't want him to leave permanently, personally. I quite like to see
No,
him.
no. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I'd like to see him go out on loan. I think it'd be good for him. Yeah.
Get confidence. Thoughts on obviously Atkinson we spoke about last week. Isaac Hayden is coming this week, allegedly on 50 grand a week. I imagine we're only paying a fairly small part of that 50 grand a week. But what do you think of him? Have you seen much of him?
I haven't seen much of him, but it certainly looks like a good acquisition, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's certainly gonna. He's what centre sort of defensive midfielder, centre.
Yeah.
Someone said centre back as well. Is that right? Or
I think he can play centre back. I think he's more of a CDM, as they call him nowadays. Number
so
6.
I like this. I like that we've got a strong CDM in, but is that not one of the positions CDM that we're all right in? I thought we've sort of got Dazelle there, we've got Potts there, because I would class Potts as a CDM because
I'd say if we're talking numbers, I think a CDM is a 6. I'd say Potts is more of an 8. Myself, he's
see
more of a. I think they call him the pivot now, don't they? The pivot.
pivot. Okay. I would
Yeah.
just class someone in that role that he does, that ball winning, getting stuck into challenges, giving the ball to someone else role. But then, yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, I think
he gets forward more than Dazelle, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I guess. But yeah, I think he's there more to. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was Potts and him playing in against Blackburn tomorrow night. Dazelle back on the bench, but he certainly gives competition to that area, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Now, just a couple of wingers and a striker, please.
A fast right winger with a bit of quality in the final third would be nice, and
I'd like
someone
to see
who's
two
prepared to
wingers, to
work.
be honest. Two
Would you?
wingers, I think.
Bit of a,
Well,
yeah,
I think
fair enough.
we've got Murphy, who's doing enough now. He wasn't at the start of the season, but he's doing enough. Lane, I don't think at this level he's
No.
strong enough, and he's another one that I wouldn't mind seeing go out on loan, but I don't think that'll happen.
No.
So yeah, a couple of wingers, and we definitely need another striker, at least one.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Dan, it's strongly reported that 19-year-old Australian Thomas Waddington is on his way to Pompey. A fee has been agreed, which has been confirmed, but not with by whom. But it is strongly reported that Portsmouth are that team that agreed a fee with him. QPR and Sheffield Wednesday are also in for him. Is he the answer? 19-year-old Australian Thomas Waddington.
19-year-old Australian already sets alarm bells ringing,
Okay.
and not at a particularly strong Australian side either. I don't know. It's difficult to judge, isn't it? But from what we've seen this season with our sort of random
Australian
players that we've
contingent.
got in and our Australian, and we've not picked up very good players. So I don't know. I think it's very much a gamble, and it sounds very much that it's another one
For the future.
I don't even think. Yeah.
Maybe he
Well,
can
a
come in. It's
19-year-old's
just
not going to come in, and it's like Omani, isn't it?
yeah.
From Brighton, he's done okay, but he's not experienced enough to run a line. To play up top in a championship against experienced defenders week in, week out.
Do you genuinely think then if that gets across the line that we will still sign another striker? Because it sounds like Omani's not going back. So they're talking the other day about him returning to fitness. Silvera today has gone back. He's been confirmed he's gone back to Middlesbrough. Not a surprise there in any way. So that could support your two wingers required. Because we needed a winger before Silvera went back. So that would suggest we probably do need two. And I think one of them is going to be on loan, isn't it, by the looks of it?
Yeah.
And maybe
Farrell
as a signing.
Farrell is dead.
Crocked.
Apparently, which has really annoyed some people
Really
on
has.
social media.
Waste of space.
Waste of space.
So what was the comment?
It's a waste of space.
Waste of space. Send him back. Send him back.
Yes. No, cancel his contract. Cancel his contract. He's a waste of space. All right, mate. He's injured. It's not, he's not doing it deliberately, is he? Jeez Louise.
Yeah. I'd like surgery, please, boss. I'd like some surgery.
Yeah.
On my knee.
This weekend,
okay.
no,
Well, yeah, we
bothered.
definitely need a left back as well now. Don't we? We definitely need some competition in there for Ogilvie. And not being funny, again, like Ogilvie, his work rate and his commitment is excellent, but we do need somebody with a little bit more quality at left back, don't we?
Yeah.
If we'd stay in this league, that's the key thing. And,
but then again, Ogilvie might not be. Ogilvie might not be as exposed defensively when we've got a better central centre back pairing in there.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And both Shotton and Paul are returning to fitness and should be back tail end of this month, apparently.
God, we'll have loads of players, won't we?
I know. We'll have selection.
Best team in the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a team full of centre backs.
Yeah, won't concede any, won't score any.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next game in the championship is against Blackburn on Wednesday night. Thoughts on that, Dan? We won't be doing a preview of that. But
no, tough. Yeah, they're doing all right.
Currently,
well, I say they're doing all right. They haven't actually won. Yeah, 7th. They haven't won in their last 5. Before that, they'd won 6 on the bounce. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough, isn't it? Another
It is.
tough midweek away, long drive, cold game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope so. I hope with these players a bit fresher from the FA Cup, with a week off or however long it is they've had off, and a couple of new players in, we will see.
You'd like to hope. I think
Mm.
if I want to offer a little scrap of hope for the away, obviously our away form is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Blackburn's home form isn't great. So their last 6, 1-2, drawn 1, lost 3. Their away form is very good. They're actually second in the table on away form. So it's a possibility, isn't it? But our away form is obviously shocking. So, but I think if we we might be meeting them at a good time. They did win in the FA Cup the other night. Can't remember against who, but they did. But they are against Middlesbrough, actually, away from home. So
yeah,
maybe. What's your prediction? Are we going to get a point?
Yeah, I'll go with a point then. We've got points against strong teams away, haven't we? So
I'm going to say if we don't concede in the first 15 minutes, or if we don't look like conceding in the first 15 minutes, we look fairly solid for the first 15 minutes, we're going to get something from the game.
Yeah, can we
If
just
we do
do that?
concede,
Can we just do that?
Yeah.
Can we just
Depending on
not
how we
concede in the
start.
first 15, 20 minutes? That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and not look so nervous. Not look so
Yeah.
nervous that every time they attack, they look like they're going to score. So if we could, just be nice and solid, get Hayden in there to sort them out, bark some orders. Please don't, no offence, Marlon, but please don't play Marlon right to the back. And let's just look solid. That's all I want. It'd be nice to get like a 1-1, I guess. But a 1-1 where
nice
we
to get
take
a
the
win,
lead.
wouldn't it?
That'd be lovely to get a win, but let's be realistic.
A 1-1. No, you don't want a 1-1 where we take the lead.
Yeah, no, I do, because I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go behind and then just sit there, getting all annoyed for 45 minutes and then get a late equaliser or whatever. I want to take the lead and then concede midway through the second half.
Okay.
No, I don't want to concede, obviously. But...
Yeah. Okay. This is the Pompey pod where we're desperate for us to concede goals.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
It's desperate for a point. What do you think the score will be? Pop it into the comments. And while you're there, why not, make 2025 a year where you share the Pompey pod with your friends and family and loved ones. And we got a comment that the other day, no wonder nobody watches this show or something like that. Which is not far from the truth, but let's change that a little bit, shall we? And we're on just under 800 subscribers on YouTube, so it'd be lovely if we can get to 1,000 by the end of the season.
It would hurt if it wasn't true, wouldn't it?
Yeah, as you can tell, it really did hit a nerve with us. But if you do enjoy watching the Pompey pod, then please like, subscribe, and share. All right, we'll be back later this week with a preview of the Middlesbrough game this weekend, and then we'll be back after the weekend next week with a review of Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough. That's been the Pompey pod. We've been the Pompey pod. Go on, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, what are you wearing for the Middlesbrough preview?
Probably the same.
Oh yeah, I'll wear the same then.
Okay, so Pompey, goodbye.
Bye.